Now, to formally close our 2024 conference and to provide his reflections on the day, it is my pleasure to invite back to the stage Gabriel Mahlouf, Governor of the Central Bank of Ireland.
Thank you very much, Denise. And perhaps I can just start by thanking Denise and all of her team and everybody who's helped to make this event, I personally think, a success. So can we just join and say a thank you to Denise? It's always a bit tricky, I'm sure I said this last year, it's always a bit tricky to sort of come up with reflections of the day immediately the moment the day has finished. But I mean, I'm very pleased with how it's gone. We've had an amazing attendance. I'm not sure if we've had the biggest attendance that we've ever had of the three of these annual conferences we've held. It's certainly been interesting. It's certainly been thought-provoking from the last panel right through to this morning's session, listening to both the Minister and Pablo Hernandez de Cos in his presentation. I mean, you know, the central bank focuses its efforts on playing its role in a well-functioning financial system. We're very clear in our mandate, which is to maintain monetary and financial stability and to make sure the financial system works for consumers and the wider economy. But I think we're also quite conscious that we can't do that on our own. And I think one of the objectives of an event like this is to help us understand what it is we don't know, and to help you understand what it is that we think we know, and hopefully in a process of iteration that will arrive much better informed as we work on these issues that matter so much to all of us. If I can just pick up one of the things that I just heard right at the very, very end, which has been a permanent passion of mine, is the importance of financial literacy. And I was very sort of delighted to hear Rachel actually talk about financial literacy. I actually went back to primary school. I've used to, secondary school would be probably okay, but I think financial literacy at the core of our education system, I think, is really, really a fundamentally important thing, and I hope the strategy is going to sort of promote that. Other things that struck me today, there was a comment made by I think it was the Minister about the importance of pensions in the creation of capital markets, and one of the things that I think we and certainly the Department of Finance and others need to be thinking about is how will auto-enrollment help, or how could it help the creation of savings and investments spirit in Ireland, which can help to contribute to the wider creation of a capital market in the EU. I thought Carol Lanu was fantastically provocative and certainly made me think quite a lot. I think it was Pablo who talked about financial stability as a public good, which I think helps us to sort of think ultimately in this sort of rapidly changing world, what are some of the basic fundamentals that we absolutely need to keep hold of to enable us to build and create and enable the sorts of outcomes that we want for consumers and for the wider community. The fraud session was interesting, not least because while I was listening to the panel, I got one of those phone calls from Revolut telling me that my payment to some outfit had been, I think, noted, and if I wanted to query it, to get in touch with them, but if I wanted the payment to be confirmed, to put the phone down. For one very obvious reason, I was quite happy to put the phone down, but it just the timing was perfect to remind us how easy some of this stuff actually is. I thought, again, in the last panel, a point made by Brian that the importance of competition to drive innovation can't really be underplayed, and I think we need to always think about how we can promote competition. And again, it's not a central bank. I don't see it as a central bank thing. We do think quite hard about how our regulations don't get in the way of the functioning of financial markets. But it's been pretty clear to me that we're seeing competition in all sorts of forms start to grow, and we need to find a way to really enable them to happen faster and to ultimately, again, hopefully drive the sort of benefits that we want. But thank you to everybody who's joined us physically or virtually. Your feedback will be very important to helping us shape next year's event. I hope you've enjoyed not just listening to the people on the platform, but actually talking to each other, because this event has been partly created to enable the various stakeholders that the central bank has to actually meet each other, talk to each other, hear from each other. And on that note, and with the rather gloomy news that apparently snow is on its way, have a good evening, and thank you again for coming.